Hello, welcome to the Reframing Mindset podcast. We are clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity, practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day. Okay, welcome back to Reframe Mindset podcast. My name is Concept Brooks. This episode I want to talk about setting up investments, like for example stocks and all those stuff. And it's one of those things that did not cross my mind when I actually got the employment to be like, okay, I could actually invest in certain stuff. I could invest in stock, not actually invest. I could actually open an investment account. That's one of the next benefits of having a solid job and having getting consistent pay and payroll is that you can actually set up investment and have stocks. So in a situation like now where boom, I have a certain job loss and a period of shortage, then actually open the investment account and then invest. Maybe some of those investments will actually be growing. So back way back when I just left university and had and just have all this idea of all the thing that I want to invest in, but did not have the money. Now that I had the work, I could actually open an investment account and then boom, invest a couple money into those stuff. But that did not actually cross my mind. That did not cross my mind. So just one of those things where I'm knowledgeable of it now, and these are things that where you will list some people way older, and then you say, what is some advice you'll be like you give to your younger self, and be like, oh, I wish I started investing earlier as and invest. Yes, these are the situation that may cause that. You'll be like, oh, I got to work, but I did not remember that I could actually realize I could actually open an investment account and then invest some of the income into stocks or stuff like that to basically supplement my income meanwhile I'm working. But I know that now. And the thing about this episode is that you know that now, um, and you may know that at a younger age than me. So you might start way before me, and then that will compound into you getting richer really quicker. So that's why you have to really think about it. But the thing about it now is that the fact that I know I can actually do it makes me invest in stocks now. I would actually take time to learn it. Prior to that, the only thing that I was interested in, where the reason I was interested in stock was because of the company that actually like I actually wanted the car and wanted the space thing. So that's the reason why I was interested in the stocks back then. But now I would actually learn about stocks in general to actually invest in it because I understand the value of investing money. So I would actually learn about stocks and then invest in other companies, create investment account to actually invest in other companies and such. Just because I'm thinking that you have to think about life long term. You have to think about retirement when you're 60 and such like that. You have to be able to compound a lot of money. And if you're having wife, kids, and all those stuff, you have to be able to compound a lot of money. So it's like 9 to 5, a 9 to 5 employee work thing. It's not going to cut it alone. You have to learn a lot of other skills. And basically, these are things that I'm actually learning now. And if you want to have a fun retirement, and that's the next thing, because you can actually retire, but it's not actually a very fulfilling retirement. You basically living a basic living and be like, you'll be like, oh, I did my fair she off work, 9 to 5 and thing, and then you live a basic life. And then what happens is now you just basically living that basic life, and you're when you have people that basically want to go to do more, be like, oh no, don't do it because you didn't. You're living that basic life. I don't want to be that person. I want to be that person that when if I'm retired, I want to be like I reached my full potential, and when I left the working world, I'll be like, oh my god, bro, you know, yeah, go out there and get it. That's I want people to see me balling in my retirement and be like, oh my god, that's so that's how you have to really think about it. And I actually seen it. I've seen it with my in the sense of my grandmother living her dream life. But and as the perspective of life now, the fact that, you know, way before I was born, she was working towards this life. So all those behind the scenes things, I born into that blessing. That's the thing now. Where fast forward to retirement, when I have maybe grandkids and stuff like that, all those blessings that they'll be reaping will be for all these times now that they did not exist. That they did not exist, and I'll be like, oh my god, So when they come into this ball in life that I came into, they'll be like, oh my god. And then what happens is that they get so spoiled by this ball in life that they don't realize the blessings of that ball in life. And then boom, when I die, then the cycle repeats, and you see the sadness that I have for my grandmother when she passed. They have the sadness for that, and then boom, then the cycle goes on. But now they have the podcast to actually understand that, okay, yeah, this is the importance of why you should have actually appreciated me when I was alive. So that's how you have to really think about it. No, you have to. So, and one of my previous podcasts guests actually mentioned about investing, which was Daniel, one of my previous guests. But if you really think about perspective again, he was actually older than me, so he actually was exposed to all those things before. So that's why you have to think about levels. You have to realize that, okay, certain things other people you can learn from other people, but realize that their phase in life may not be your phase. So you just what I can do is just take the lessons from early, so that when you're in the position to actually apply that knowledge that you learned, you can apply it at a very earlier age to reap a better blessings than the person uh, that the person gets um, than the person was at an earlier time. So that's why you have to really think about it. So you're listening to this episode now. You have me actually learn that episode, this lesson from way back in the way back when in the interview, but now I am learning the fact that I actually could do it, but did not really think about it. But now I'm wiser. But as I said, I'm wiser. When I go into the new work now, then these things will come to me. So that's the thing about compound interest as well. Knowledge will compound. So not only money will compound, the knowledge will compound. So if you get an increased income, you're not only going to increase your income through your pay, you can increase your income through other investment and smart investment. So yeah. I said the money will come. The money will come. It's just the fact that you don't want to make bad money. You don't want to make bad money and you're being on the wrong side of the law all the time, bro. You want to make money that basically you can just sleep and chill and think. If you basically you want to be on the right side of the law, just making the money because you can just basically just rest and chill and just know that, okay. Of course, people will try to take the money and stuff like that, but the thing about it is that the important thing is that you're making the money the right way. So you're basically living a stress free life. You're not basically you're not really thinking about. You just saying, okay, yo, you're making the money legit. All I have to do is focus on making the money, accomplishing the goals, and then just have and just chill and sleep. So that's what I really think about it. So that's basically it for this episode. Thank you for listening. I look forward for the next episode. Mhm.
Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/cssb/support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page, Reframing Mindset Podcast, or on Twitter at ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode.